Alright, hey guys, so I'm back with another what I melted this week. I hope that the video camera quality is the same. I am using a different camera, so hopefully it's just as good quality as my normal camera is, but yes. So, I do have, I think I melted about the same thing. I do want to mention that I normally don't melt on weekends because I'm normally working weekends, so I don't tend to go, I'm not normally home Saturday and Sunday to melt things, and when I do melt things, I normally just melt one thing at night, so that's something that I do want to mention. So, I've decided to change up the way I kind of grade things. Instead of doing kind of 1 out of 5 for throw, I'm just going to say low, medium, high, and then I'm also going to talk about the scent strength itself, because I find that there's a difference between the scent and the throw. The throw is how far the scent can go, like if it fills up a whole room, if it fills up a room and a hallway, you know what I mean? Whereas the scent itself is actually the strength of just the fragrance oil, if it's a strong scent or if it's a weaker scent. Because something can have a weak scent but a strong throw. So it's a light fragrance, but if the light fragrance travels outside of your room, into your hallway, into your kitchen, you know, whatever it is, then that's a strong throw, but the scent just smells lighter. That's just a lighter kind of scent. So I want to talk about those two as well. Also, from now on, I'm going to be mentioning where I'm melting the wax melts, because I either melt in my living room, which is pretty big. It's a pretty big open concept area. The entrance of the living room is just a huge arch that leads into the hallway, and it leads into a bunch of different rooms, so it's pretty open in the living room. It's kind of the regular size of a family living room. It's really not that big, but it's also not incredibly small. And then my bedroom is much smaller. It's kind of like a kid's bedroom kind of size, maybe slightly bigger, but it's basically a kid's bedroom. That's the bedroom that I have. And so the reason I do want to mention what room I'm melting these things in is because something that could be a high throw in my bedroom could be a medium or even a low throw in the living room. It really all depends. Also, I do want to mention the airflow for my two different rooms is different. In my bedroom, I have little to no airflow. There's basically no air conditioning in my room. Because in my bedroom, in any of the bedrooms, there's no central air conditioning. There's only central air conditioning in the living room. So the living room is much cooler. There's a lot more airflow. Whereas my bedroom, I don't really get a lot of air conditioning, and I have like a machine that I don't always turn on for AC. Normally I just keep a fan going, so that's all the air circulation that I get in my bedroom, whereas in the living room there's a lot more air circulation. So at the same time, something that is seemingly weak in the living room, in my bedroom can be super, super, super strong, just because there's less airflow and it's a smaller room. So I do want to mention those things, because that where you melt it really can change the scent itself and the performance of the scent. So those are some new things that I wanted to add to my reviews to give you kind of a more in-depth idea of everything. So the first thing that I want to do is, let me see, I just want to find out the description for one of these fragrances, because I didn't find it before I started filming, which, now that I think about it, actually sounds absolutely ridiculous. So just bear with me for a second. Let me see. And it's loading. So, hopefully I wrote this down. I believe I wrote this down. Okay. So I have it. So the first fragrance that I'm going to talk about is a little scent shot, and it's this tiny little scent shot from L3. And this scent shot is in the fragrance Evening Star. And Evening Star is lavender, water lily, and sea mist. And this is very interesting. It's very floral. I melted this last night, actually. It was very strong, like this tiny cup. These are like the 0.5 ounce cups, I believe. Like they're very tiny, like in my hands. Like let me compare it to a regular, like 2 ounce scent shot. So this is a 2 ounce scent shot on the bottom, and this is a 0.5 scent shot. Like I'm pretty sure this is a 0.5 or like a little over point. Maybe it's like a 0.7. I don't know, but I know that it's not a full ounce scent shot. So this was super strong in my bedroom. And I definitely got the lavender. And then I got, now that I smell it, I do recognize the sea mist. And I don't really know what water lily smells like. But for me, last night, this was quite clean. It was a very clean floral lavender. So the lavender was definitely in there, but it wasn't, to me, it was not the dominant note. It was definitely, I would say it's actually a little bit more dominant on the water lily. Because last night I smelled a floral that I didn't know what it was, and I'm still smelling it now. On warm, the lavender definitely comes out more. When you smell it on cold, it's really just kind of water lily and sea mist. But on warm, the lavender comes out more. It was really nice. It was really strong. I would say that this is a little bit more of a springtime scent with your windows open. Maybe it's raining outside kind of scent, or it's more of a bathroom kind of scent, because the sea mist made it quite clean. Not in a cleaner way, but something about it to me kind of just smells like laundry. I think the water lily in here is her water lily and jasmine downy scent. I think that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure, but something about it just smells like clean laundry to me. And I think it's that water lily and jasmine downy blend that she has in. Because, yeah, something about this it smells aquatic, it smells floral, but something about it still just kind of smells like laundry. So this was a good one. I just probably would not have melted it in my room if I knew that it would smell so clean and fresh. So I melted that for maybe about half an hour, and then I turned it off. And it was super strong when I first put it in, within the first 10 minutes, I could smell it, and it packed a punch. So the next thing I want to talk about is a newer one, and you'll see this in my most recent haul from Vintage Chic Scents. And this is in the Scent Shot Deep Slumber, which is the sample that I got, and it was poured in May, right? Yeah, wow, that's good. I know my months. So this is poured in May. And so the description for this is pink, honey, lavender, vanilla. And so smelling this in my review, you'll know that I thought it smelled like Honey, I Washed the Kids and lavender. And I didn't know if the pink was a pink sugar. But yeah, so it is, now that I've melted it, I know for sure it is definitely pink sugar, a Honey, I Washed the Kids dupe, and lavender. And it's definitely a sweeter lavender. I would say the standout scent in this is Honey, I Washed the Kids. That's like the main standout scent. And then the pink sugar and the lavender are definitely there, but when you smell it, the first thing you really get is Honey, I Washed the Kids. And this is very well blended. I would say it's definitely not one that I would probably, it's pretty, it really is pretty, but I don't know if I would fall asleep to this. I did melt it at night before I went to bed. I kept it on all night. It was nice, but I would definitely think this is a little bit more of like a, kind of like a kid's room smell. You know, it kind of smells like something you would melt in a baby's room, something you would melt in a children's room, and something you would probably melt in your washroom, rather than something I would personally melt in my bedroom. There's something about it that is still soft and relaxing, but it's also quite soapy because of the Honey, I Washed the Kids. So this is kind of a very unique scent. I haven't smelled anything like this. It's definitely a very interesting blend. This was a strong scent, strong throw, for sure. This one was a medium throw, very weak scent. Now, I know that a lot of people have said that Vintage Chic Scents does better when it cures for longer. However, for me, I've always found that Vintage Chic Scents is strong right when I get it. Like, I've never had to wait a year or even months to get good throw and good fragrance from Vintage Chic Scents. So, I don't know. Maybe this is one of the ones that will have to take a little longer because it is a lavender blend. It's a little lighter. But even smelling it now, a few days after I've melted it, it already smells a lot stronger than it did when I first got it. And this one, I smelled it throughout my room, so it was a medium throw. It was all throughout my room. However, when I was in the room, I had to really sniff, like, just regular breathing through my nose, I couldn't smell it. I would have to, like, purposely inhale deeply to smell it. So it was a very light scent, but the scent did fill my room, and I noticed that when I left my room to go to the washroom, when I came back, I could kind of smell it drifting into the hallway. So it was a good throw. It was just a very, very light scent. So maybe that one will have to wait and cure a little longer for me to get a stronger scent out of it. But from what I could smell, it was a nice scent. It was blended well. I just wish it was obviously just a little bit stronger. I don't need it to be too strong, but I mean, I want to be able to smell it without having to actively, purposely try and sniff the air for it, you know? So the next thing I have is another thing I melted in my room, and this is Tiffany Candles Chunklets in tinsel with marshmallow and cotton candy overpour. This is what they look like. They're super little cute blue chunks with a pink overpour. And I love tinsel. Tinsel is, I believe, it's like a peppermint, I think it's pomegranate, or it's like a peppermint berry fruity blend, and then there's that creamy marshmallow and sweet fruity cotton candy. It's just so good. I absolutely love this blend. I love tinsel so much. It's actually one of my favorite scents, and I would say that with this blend, the peppermint and tinsel doesn't come out as much because that creamy marshmallow and the cotton candy really kind of overpower that pepperminty from the tinsel, but it's still a really, really good blend. It's super strong. It is a strong scent with a strong throw. So that is a good one, and I love that one. I've had it for a while. Yeah, it's just great. I don't have any complaints about that one. Now this one I also melted in my bedroom. I melted this one yesterday as well. This is Dragon Scales Danish Butter Cookies and Sugar Cookies. So Dragon Scales is one of her own blends. It is, I believe it's like a grapefruit citrus blend. It's definitely a citrus blend. I know that. This is very strong. When you smell it on cold, you really get that Danish butter cookies and the sugar cookies. Not strong. It's not a very heavy bakery, but they're definitely kind of creamy. You get a slight kind of bakery note to it. And then a light citrus. So on cold, this one smells pretty good. And then I warm it, and it doesn't smell bad, but I don't smell any of the bakery scent. I really just get that grapefruit, that citrus from Dragon Scales, and I like it, but I will say that the Dragon Scales was quite overpowering, that the Danish butter cookies and the sugar cookies, I could not smell it. I would say that it's possible that the Danish butter cookies and sugar cookies, all they did was kind of mellow out the Dragon Scales, because I have melted other blends with Dragon Scales, and Dragon Scales, I would say, is a little bit more citrusy. So I think it did kind of calm down the citrus note of the Dragon Scales, but I wasn't really able to smell the cookie scents, and it didn't really smell quite bakery at all. It just smelled very citrusy, quite tart as well, so I don't think I would get that blend again. And that was one of the mystery blends. If you've ever purchased from L3 when she does her chunks, she tends to do mystery chunks when people, when she opens for customs and she does chunks, she always opens for mystery chunks. So anything that's kind of left over from people's custom orders, she'll send you, you can choose, I think it's from 15, 20, and 30 chunks or something like that. You can choose however many chunks you want, and it's just kind of a mystery of what you're going to get based on other people's custom orders. So that was a mystery chunk, and it was okay, but it wasn't, you know, amazing. This one is Mandarin Tiki from Tiffany Candles, and I melted this in my living room, and you can see the date of when I got it there. But this one, it looks like I melted half of it, but I didn't. I melted actually, I think just like, I melted a quarter of a half, because that's literally what I had left, and this was so strong. This is a medium scent on cold, but when it gets hot, it is a strong scent, incredibly strong throw. I mean, literally just a half of a half, like a quarter of a half, so like an eighth of the whole scent shot, was able to not only fill up my entire living room, but it wafted throughout the entire home. So this is just, I love this scent. It is one of my favorite citrus scents. It is just a really good citrusy mandarin scent. I would say that it's quite, it's in a way, it can kind of be seen as clean, but it's definitely more of a fruity blend than clean. I just think kind of when I smell orange, I kind of think of clean. I don't know. But that one's a good one. I don't believe there are any specific kind of notes to that one. Yeah. Oh, so it's mandarin, currant, strawberry, blueberry, and leaves. But you mainly smell the mandarin. It's just really good. And I do smell the leaves. It's a little bit green. There's a slight greenness to it. But that one's just, it's an amazing, amazing blend. Okay, this one is Rose Girls, Wildberry, Chicks Dig It, and Swizzle Sticks. And this one I melted in my living room. And Chicks Dig It is a, like, cherry kind of fizzy scent. And this one smells much sweeter on warm, and the cherry from the Chicks Dig It comes out more. On cold, it's a little bit stronger on the Wildberry and the Swizzle Sticks, where Swizzle Sticks is just kind of like a sugary candy scent. And this one is a medium to light throw, and it's a medium scent. And I don't melt a full chunk. I always melt about a half a chunk, so this one was good. I definitely think it performs better in my bedroom, I would say. I didn't get too much of the fizz on warm. It just kind of smelled more cherry-y. But regardless, it's a really nice, sweet, fruity blend. It's a good one. This one is from L3, and I was so disappointed in this one. I really hoped I was going to love it. This one is Science Fiction Double Feature, and it says 2015, but it's 2016. Everything from L3 that I've gotten is from 2016. I think something just went wrong with when she was making her labels, but this is supposed to be lemon poppy seed and strawberry bread. It's one of her own house blends. And this one smelled like nothing. There is a light throw or no throw, and the scent itself, even on cold, it's very light. It's not a very strong scent either. I don't know what happened with this blend. I don't know what happened here, but I had to walk up to the warmer to smell it, and I couldn't smell anything, and I was thinking maybe it's the fan. I turned my fan off in the living room. But the thing is, I have my fan going all the time in the living room, and other things will throw. So it was weird that this one didn't. And when I turned it off, I did get wafts of this fragrance. Like, sometimes, like, I would smell a little bit of it, but then it would just go away. But it never really, like, filled an area at all. So to smell it, I had to walk up to the warmer. This was honestly, it was just kind of disappointing. I'll try it again in my bedroom, see if I get a better throw there, but yeah, it was really disappointing. I did not appreciate that. But I think it's a nice blend, so I do want to try it again. Maybe this one was just like a dud, I don't know, but that one was from one of my custom orders. I don't know. I was really disappointed. This one is Super Tarts Donatello, which is lavender cream and honeydew, and it smells the same warm as it does cold. It's just a very her honeydew is quite sweet. It's a very sweet candy honeydew. Quite creamy. It's not a Trudis. I wouldn't say it's a Trudis scent honeydew, but I would say it's you know, it's nice, but it's not like a true honeydew. It's quite a candied honeydew, if I'm being honest. And that is how much I melted. And by that I mean literally just that. Like, I cut it in half, and I was planning to melt this whole half, and I put it in, it melted that much, and it was already strong. I took it out, and it was strong. Like, it was so super strong in my bedroom. It's already quite a strong, medium kind of scent itself, but the throw was strong. And I melted such a small amount, and the scent throw was amazing. Like, whenever I would open the door to leave my room to go to the washroom again, it would waft out into the hallway. And the scent, I will say, it went away after 3 hours. So I had it in the warmer, but after 3 hours, I could smell absolutely nothing anymore. And it wasn't that I got used to the smell, the fragrance oil just dissipated off of it. But I mean, such a small amount, I would assume something like that would happen, but it was still good payoff for when it did smell like something. So it was just a really good one. I really like that one. I would recommend that if you're a honeydew lover. I would say the lavender exists, but it's not very strong, I would say. So that one is definitely more for someone who likes honeydew. So then here is another L3 blend. This was a custom. This is brown sugar ice cream scoop bread. Again, this was purchased in 2016. Something just went wrong with the label. And I melted a quarter of this. L3, I always just melt a quarter of her chunks. And the ice cream scoop bread came out more when it was warm, because on cold you really just kind of get that brown sugar. And I would say the whole scent itself intensified, but you did get more of kind of a slightly more creamy bakery scent. And then that brown sugar got really caramely on warm. On cold, you smell it. It's kind of a gentle, relaxed, not too overpowering brown sugar. But once it hits the warmer, that brown sugar turns really caramely, kind of almost like a really dark, rich brown sugar. It got really intense. It is such a strong scent. It is a strong throw. At first, it actually kind of gave me a headache because it was a little bit too strong. But after maybe an hour or so, it started to get a little bit more creamy. The ice cream scoop bread started to come out a little bit more, and it mellowed out, and I actually fell asleep to it. Like, it was so nice. It was really creamy, just really warm and inviting, and kind of a little bit buttery, a little sweet. It was really, really nice, and it was quite relaxing, actually, which is surprising because you wouldn't think bakery would be relaxing, but it was. Next thing I have is from actually Bath & Body Works, and it's watermelon lemonade. And what I do is I just take the candles and I just like chunk the wax. Like, I'll chunk up the wax, and then I just cut it up and I put it into a polypropylene bag, and I stick the label onto the bag because you can do that. And this one, I think everyone knows what watermelon lemonade smells like if you've ever been to Bath & Body Works in the summertime. It is a really, really nice watermelon lemonade. The watermelon is quite a more realistic watermelon, in my opinion. And the lemonade is super nice. It's quite tart. It's not a very sweet lemonade either. I think the sweetness really comes from that watermelon. It's purely, in my opinion, a tart lemon. And this is amazing. It smells really, really good on warm. It gets a lot stronger on warm. I would say both scents play a little more. It gets a little bit more intense when it's warm. It's more of on cold, it's more of a medium to light scent. On warm, it's definitely a strong scent, and it's a very strong throw. I think out of everything that I've melted in the living room, my Bath & Body Works, in my opinion, was the strongest throw that I got. And it bled into the bedroom next to the living room, and my roommate actually complained that it was too strong, and I turned it off, and it lingered in the living room I turned it off, the next day I came back and it was still lingering in the living room. It is a really, really good scent. I personally think that Bath & Body Works has really, really good fragrance oils, really good wax. I just don't think that it's good when you burn the candles. I personally believe that if you just chunk off the wax and use it as like a wax melt, you get much better performance, because the fragrance oils and the wax itself is really good. It's just that I personally think that the wax is more of a wax melt wax than a candle, because I just think their wax performs better when it's melted rather than burned. But that's just my opinion. Who knows? But I've been doing this for the past 4 years with my Bath & Body Works candles, so I don't know. I also don't like the way candles smell. They smell kind of smoky, and I don't really want my watermelon lemonade to smell kind of smoky. Like, that's kind of stupid. So the next thing I have is a scent shot, and it's in Best Friends. And this one I melted in my bedroom, and it's a nice berry blend. I get strawberry, blackberries, and blueberries. I personally think that it's a little bit. It can kind of smell a little bit. It can kind of smell a little bit cough syrupy to certain people. It can be a little bit sickly, syrupy, sweet. So if you're kind of sensitive to those scents, beware, because it is kind of almost on the verge of being kind of sticky, syrupy, cough syrup sweet. So when I was melting this, I had both the window open and the fan on. So it was kind of a low throw. I couldn't really smell it, but that's obviously because I had the window open, the fan on. There was a lot of wind in the room, but I could still smell it a little bit when I got near it. So I know it would have been stronger if the window was closed, because Haley's Heavenly Scents is just a good performer in general, and berry scents are generally always very strong. So from what I could smell of it, I know that if I melted it under better circumstances, that the throw would have been much better. Next, I have something that I'm actually just going to get rid of, because I can't do it. I can't deal with this fragrance. This is an L3 Waxy Wonders melt in pomegranate violet iced tea, and this one was another mystery chunk. And when you smell it on cold, I don't mind it. It's a little bit floral. It's a little pomegranate-y. And then the iced tea, it's very much that kind of Nestle Brisk kind of iced tea. It's that pop kind of soda iced tea, not like the Southern iced tea where you just kind of get ice with sugar, like tea with sugar in it. That's not what this is. This is definitely like a brisk or a Nestea kind of scent. And when you warm it, it's just so intense on the iced tea. It gives me a pounding headache. This is really strong. It is such a strong blend. It's so pretty on cold, and I feel like if it didn't give me a headache, I would be able to appreciate it more. But if you're someone who likes the smell of iced tea, get this fragrance oil or even just this blend. It is amazing. You will love it. For me, it was just too much. It was too strong. And it was also a little too sweet on warm. It was much sweeter on warm than it was on cold. And I'm okay with sweet scents. But this one was just too much. It was very almost syrupy, sweet, whereas other sweet scents are they're a little bit candy, kind of creamy, kind of sweet. This one was just almost like a sickly syrup sweet. It was just too much. And I turned it off right when I really started to smell it. Like, it started melting, and I was like, oh no, gotta turn it off. It gave me a raging headache. The scent is strong, the throw is strong, but I'm definitely going to either toss it or I'm going to give it to a friend, because this is just too strong, and I melted that in my living room, so it was intense. Intense, intense, intense. This one is Lemon Sorbet by L3 Waxy Wonders, and this was a little sample. It was a little bunny. And this one on cold it smells kind of like a fresh lemon, but warmed it's actually kind of bakery. It almost smells like a lemon meringue pie scent without the crust. It kind of smells like lemon curd, but it wasn't like a heavy, it was still like a fresh lemon. It was almost like it was a fresh lemon mixed with lemon meringue pie. And it was a medium scent with a medium throw. It actually took a while to throw. It took about 40-45 minutes to actually smell anything. But once I smelt it, it was pretty good. I did turn it off a little while after just because I'm not too into like that lemon meringue pie scent. I don't know. That one I turned it off. This is I'm taking out the sticky tag because whenever I finish a scent shot, I put in a little note inside to tell me what I thought about it, to remind me. So this is the King's Festival, and it is strawberry, Chardonnay, and whipped cream. It is definitely strong on the Chardonnay, but it's sweeter because of that strawberry. I don't really get a whipped cream scent from it at all. It's really, for me, just a strawberry Chardonnay. I didn't really like the scent, but it was a medium throw for a medium scent, and I used a half of it rather than the full scent shot. But it was, like, if you like this kind of scent, it's good. It definitely does smell like an authentic kind of wine scent. So if you kind of like that kind of fragrance, you're gonna like this one. I don't really like wine fragrances. That's just not my thing. So yeah. I like wine. I like red wine. Love red wine. But like smelling it in a wax tart, I don't know. Like maybe if I was coming back from the club, but not on just like a regular everyday basis. I don't think that's a normal scent to melt. This one is peppermint coconut mallow from Rose Girls, and I melted a little tiny bit of one, I don't know. And this one I melted in my bedroom. It was a nice creamy scent with a slight peppermint. It is definitely stronger on the coconut marshmallow, but the coconut marshmallow fragrance oil is lighter on the coconut, so it's more like kind of like a marshmallow with a very creamy coconut. It's not like a dry coconut scent, or it's just a very creamy, almost, it's like one of those like coconut milks rather than a coconut. It's very, very creamy. You don't really get that coconut fragrance from it. It's more just kind of like an overall creaminess with a slight coconut hint to it. This one lasted 2 nights in a row, but on the second night I smelt less peppermint on the second night. It was a medium-high throw with a light scent. So this one, because of the marshmallow, it is quite a light scent. It's very creamy. However, it throws really well, and I don't know if the peppermint oil burnt off by the second night, but the second night the peppermint was very, very light, almost barely noticeable. Here I have Super Tarts Golem, and I melted 1 cube of it. And this is almond and blackberries. Her almond is it's like a Mac apple, like sea salt. I don't know what kind of blend, but it's like a fresh blend with Mac apple, and then there's the fruity blackberries in it. So far, this is actually the only Mac apple blend I have ever liked. Shocking. Because everyone seems to love Mac apple for whatever reason. It's disgusting to me. The blackberry is very juicy. It's fruity. I really like her blackberry. It's fruity and sugary but tart. And the blackberry blends really well with the Mac apple. They're almost equal in strength, so they kind of really balance each other out. They're not competing for the top spot. It's just kind of like they complement each other really well, and it's mainly a fruity blend, but I also get kind of a fresh, clean scent from it because of the other fragrances that are in Omen. And it was a medium throw and it was a strong scent. I also had the windows open, and it still threw really well. So this is a good one. I think that would be nice as an overall fruity. It's like definitely a fruity fresh rather than just a plain fruity. I think that one would be really nice in like the living room. Obviously, I think it would be nice if you just wanted kind of a more refreshing fruity blend. That one's a good one because it's fruity fresh. It's not just plain fruity. It's not overly juicy or anything. It's a really good one. I really, really like that one. Here, and I melted that one in the living room. Here is Super Tarts Krang. I melted this one in the living room as well. This is Cotton Candy Frosting, Serendipity, and Cucumber Melon. I melted half of it. And it's a strong scent and strong throw. The cucumber melon is definitely stronger when it's warmed. I'm unsure if I like Serendipity still. Sometimes it's a little too creamy for me. It kind of reminds me of throw up. Because when things are too creamy for me, they automatically make me think of, like, vomit. Which is so weird, but yeah. It lasted very long. When I took it out of the warmer, you could still smell it. My roommate does not like this because she doesn't really like coconut, so she complained about that one. But yeah, it was very, very strong. So far, everything from Super Tarts I've ever had is very strong. Next, I have Haley's Heavenly Scents in Strawberry Raspberry Guava. I melted a half of it. I love this fragrance oil. It is so juicy and sweet and fruity. This one, however, was quite a light throw. I don't know if it's because, I don't know if you could see, but all the fragrance oil has, like, kind of come off on it. It's kind of, and I got it like that. It was kind of sweaty when I first got it. You can kind of see all the fragrance oil that sits on the side. I don't know if it's because the fragrance oil leaked out of the scent shot, if the fragrance oil didn't mix into the wax very well. But I've had other Strawberry Raspberry Guava blends from Haley's Heavenly Scents, and they've been really strong. So I think it's possible that this one just wasn't done well. I'm assuming the wax was either too hot or too cold before it hit the fragrance oil flash point, which basically it wasn't hot enough or it wasn't cold enough. I don't know which one, for the fragrance oil to actually incorporate well into it, or maybe it was too hot that the fragrance oil actually hit the flash point and it kind of burned a lot of the scent off. Who knows, really? But that Strawberry Raspberry Guava, and it was quite a light throw. I didn't really smell it that much. So, I don't know. I melted that in the living room, though. So, I'll try again in my bedroom. This one is Lights Out Bitches by L3, and this was such a tiny sample. It was a little tiny snowman that wasn't even half an ounce, okay? And this one was so strong in my bedroom. It is a blend of Luna, Scentsy type, and Sweet Lavender. I don't know what the scent description for Luna is, but I believe it's like a jasmine blend or something like that. And this was so amazing. I melted it once in my bedroom. I melted it once in the living room. Both places it was incredibly strong. And it's a medium scent and a strong, so super strong throw. Oh, it's so pretty. It is really relaxing. It's calming. It's not overly floral. It's just very soft, delicate smelling, and I will definitely repurchase this. It is amazing. Amazing. One of the best, most amazing lavender blends I think I've ever smelled in my life. Okay, last one. This is Rainbow Sherbet and Rock Candy and Mountain Dew by L3, and I melted, like, I don't know, like, I think I melted, like, not even a half of it. I think I melted a half of a third, so I melted like a sixth of it. And this is definitely a citrusy, candy, fizzy scent. The Mountain Dew was dominant when I melted it. It was a strong throw, and it was very, very fizzy on warm, so that Mountain Dew, the fizzy note didn't go away on warm, which is nice. And it was a strong scent. This one I did get in 2015. This one I got as I think part of a giveaway. She was doing a giveaway because she found, I think it was around the holiday time, and she found a lot of old wax in her shop or in her workspace that she didn't feel right selling because it was older. They were all from 2015, and this was like, I think it was around January of 2016 or right around December, and she didn't feel right selling them because they were a little over 3 months old and they were from 2015, so she decided to do giveaways with a lot of the older wax that she found, it wasn't even that old, and so that one was from 2015, and melting it now in 2017, still amazingly strong and super good. So these are all my notes from all of them. But yeah, that is everything that I melted this past week. Definitely, I think my favorites from the week were the Lights Out Bitches, the Golem from Super Tarts, Watermelon Lemonade, peppermint, coconut mallow, and the tinsel with cotton candy and marshmallow from Tiffany's. Those were my favorite and standouts for the week. I would definitely recommend you getting those if you can get your hands on them, or just blending them yourself. Yeah, but that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!